Good morning from Seward, Alaska. Today I'm heading to Anchorage. This is a random spur-of-the-moment trip. Last night, laying in bed at the end of the day, just kind of getting caught up on that social media stuff, I found an event being hosted by the United Way of Anchorage and a very popular YouTuber by the name of Corey Williams, and his two channels are Dude Like Hella and SMP Films, is going to be hosting a talk about YouTube and his experiences, and to me it sounds like priceless information, so we can help grow our YouTube channel and get to network with fellow YouTubers in Alaska. Pretty sure we'll get to learn something, and that's really what everything's about, is getting to learn a little bit more about your industry. Well, with that being said, it's time for me to crank up my music, enjoy my coffee, and I'll see you in Anchorage. Good afternoon from downtown Anchorage. I have found a parking spot on the street there, fed the meter a bunch of coins, and gonna try to figure out where this conference hall is. I believe it's at the Key Bank building, so I guess we'll just take it as it goes. Just got some fuel in Girdwood here along the Seward Highway, and it looks like there was an accident up here. Traffic is kind of stopped right now, but here's what I'm seeing. What's left of some flares. The ambulance just took off while I was pumping fuel. Hopefully nobody was hurt too badly, but listening to Corey speak was amazing. Yeah, he's got a lot of experience in the YouTube video field, and I was actually shocked to hear that he was the very first person to be able to make a living off of YouTube videos. That's like pioneer grade stuff. So that was pretty cool. All right, this guy is waving us past. All right. I forgot to tell you, on my way to Anchorage, I saw a black bear off in the ditch. It happened so fast. You know, I caught him out of the corner of my eye, going 60 miles an hour down the arm with vehicles behind me. So the camera did not make it out in time. Actually, I didn't even try to get it out because it happened so fast. But yeah, it's a beautiful day for a drive. This weather is gorgeous. And I know we did not winter here in Alaska, but if you did spend your winter up here, you live for days like these. Summer is road construction season here in Alaska, and it is a fact of life having to wait for road closures and single lane delays. But it is what it is. After 8 years, we've come to accept it as life. But believe it or not, we can make it to and from Anchorage sometimes in under 2 hours during the winter months. Obviously, if there's difficult road conditions, that delays things. But when there are fewer vehicles, it's definitely a quicker drive. So right up here towards the end of Turnagain Arm is 20 Mile, and Alaska residents are allowed to fish using dip nets for this fish called hooligan. They're part of like the smolt family, maybe 4-6 inches long at the longest. Very, very oily, but some people seem to just love them. I've tried hooligan about 3 different ways, and it's really not my favorite eating fish in Alaska. That's why we don't go dip netting for hooligan. Now, the one way I have had hooligan that I like it is when our friend Kristen makes an authentic Caesar salad using hooligan oil instead of anchovy oil. That is amazing. But other than that, I've had them smoked and fried. Yeah, I don't know. It's just, must be an acquired taste. But it's a very interesting process catching them, because you pretty much just scoop them right out of the water. And they run by probably the millions in terms of quantity of fish. So when they're running, they're everywhere. And you just fill up your 5-gallon bucket, take them home, and process them however you like to process your hooligan. Now, the camera is not going to pick this up very well, but there are hundreds of bald eagles out there on the mud flats, and what they're doing is they're feeding on hooligan. The tide goes in and out of Turnagain Arm, and it's a massive tidal swing, like 30 plus feet of water movement. And hooligan get stranded on the mud when the tide goes out, and that's an easy meal for these eagles. So here it is, the mouth of 20 Mile River. I'm back on the road. So as you can tell, it is a interesting fishery, and the amount of hooligan that you get really do add up quick. Not my favorite eating fish, but still a very fascinating part of Alaska. And here's construction delay number 2 on the way south to Seward. Pulling into Moose Pass, a little town about 28 miles outside of Seward on the highway here. No stoplights, but you do need to slow down to 35 miles an hour. But what I wanted to show you is, I'm pretty sure it's right here. Yep, driven past it hundreds of times. This little water wheel is also a grinding stone for axe, knives, whatever you need to sharpen. Moose Pass is a peaceful little town. If you have an axe to grind, do it here. And here's a little bit of a history on the water wheel. You can pause your screen if you would like to read it more, or you could probably just Google it. There's not much water pumping out right now, so I have no idea how good of an edge you'll get on your knife here. There's another pond or lily pad area right through here, and this week people have been posting pictures of moose hanging out there. Yep, there we go. You can see it out there. I can't quite slow down too much because there's traffic coming. If you know where to look, you can see wildlife all along this highway. And if you remember from our trip home from the North American road trip, this is Divide Pass, about 12 miles out of Seward, and theoretically, you could just coast your way right on home from here. Well guys, I'm just about home. I'm pulling into the neighborhood now. Appreciate you joining me today. The ride would have been boring without you. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, share with your friends, and most importantly, enjoy the ride.